So over here, we've got some broccoli. Over here, we've got some butter chicken sauce. This cost about £2. Broccoli cost about £1. Got some red lentils, a cup of red lentils, and a cup of white rice. These lentils were about 60p for the whole packet. This was 50p just from Lidl, cheapest rice they sell. And I've got the kettle over there, and I'm going to boil up the rice, chuck in the lentil, and just mix it in together. And that's going to be enough food to feed me for the rest of the day. I'm going to be working in at my job, where I work in a bar, and there is, at this job, they do let you order food, and they have a sort of discount. So obviously the bar I work at, the pub I work at, has a kind of a kitchen, and in the kitchen you can kind of order, you know, like on your break you can go and order a, you know, little burger or you know, a pie or something. And they do give you a discount for it. What's that? They do give you a discount for it, so it's sort of 50% off. So normally it would cost, let's say, I don't know, 15 quid for a meal there. It's quite an expensive place. With our discount, it only costs about 7 quid. But you guys might be thinking, as I did when I started working there, that's still not that great. That's really not that great. Hold on, I'm just going to do chuck in the white rice. Yeah, I just thought that's really nothing to write home about at all. That's actually pretty awful. Boiling water. And the situation I'm in at the moment, I'm really trying to save money so I can put it into the vlogs, the YouTube, which costs a lot of money to do, you know. Like, unless I'm doing a vlog in the town where I live, which won't get any views because it's not that interesting most of the time, you're looking at least like 20 quids to go somewhere. So yeah, I just thought, okay, if I want to make something of this, I'm gonna have to really cut down my my expenses, and yeah, so that's basically what I did. I just thought, like, yeah, I just can't be buying food from this fucking expensive pub that I'm working at. I mean, just how retarded is that? I'm literally working here to make money, and at the end of my shift I have to go and pay for the food that I've eaten, and especially if it's a 2-hour shift, a whole day shift, like a 12-hour shift, which I'm doing today. That's 2 meals, so you're spending 15 quid on food. That means for the first 2 hours or the first hour and a half that you're working, you might as well not fucking clock in, because you've got to pay that at the end. I mean, just how ridiculous is that they'll literally come up to me at the end of my shift and say, oh, you got a tab to pay if I've bought something. It blows my mind that I'm the only one in this pub who works here that doesn't see this is fucking stupid. Like, you shouldn't be paying to eat in the pub. Like, you know, I've worked at other places. This is kind of a side point. I've worked at other places, and they've just given me food for free, like, on my break. Now, it won't be like nice food, but they'll, you know, they've got a kitchen. They'll prepare something quick, maybe just jacket potato or something. And yeah, that's kind of I think it's a bit unfair that we have to pay for it. I don't really like it in the first place, but yeah, I see people going on their break and they've ordered like just some really expensive lunch. They've ordered like a mac and cheese or a sandwich that's not even going to fill them up, and that's already like £6 just spent, just shat away. And it's like, we're not being paid that much to work here, you know. I'm just going to chuck these lentils in. We're not being paid that much to work here. You know, I go to places in. I have friends who work in kind of the city, like in law or whatever. Like they've got a corporate job somewhere, and they'll like have discounted meals at their place of work that's even cheaper than where we work. So it's like yeah, I got one friend who works in a sort of corporate job in law, and he'll have, if he goes in early, he can pay like £2 and get like a full English breakfast at the place he works, at the office. Now a lot of that, oh shit, I'm gonna turn this on. A lot of that is because it's, you know, they want to incentivize people to work in the office as much as possible. And I'm not saying it's completely squeaky clean why, you know, their intentions, but that's something, you know, I do think that's kind of something. Just gonna chuck in the rest of this red lentils, I might as well. That's really something that, you know, he's being paid reasonably well, and yet he's earning, and yet when he has to pay for food there, it costs less than this pub. And it's just like, there's no, the conclusion I've arrived at is these guys must be making a profit from their employees buying food. Just think about how disgusting that is for a second, that like literally your employees, like, you're making money off, not from like the work they provide, but literally you're just seeing them as like another person in your shop. And if they're willing to pay a little bit less for food, then you can still like exploit that. Like those guys are still, they must be making a profit still off paying £7 for a meal at the place that I work at. You know, that's the other thing. Like, you've got to pay at least £7 to buy a meal at that place. You know, with the discount included. You know, like, because you're on your feet the whole time you're working, and you're just burning so many calories. So like, you need, like, if the times that I have had to buy something, I will just buy something quite expensive just because I need that energy. Like, I can't just have a little stupid cheese sandwich and expect that to fill me up when I'm literally walking around the pub floor for like 12 hours. Yeah, it just disgusts me how badly people, like corporations, treat their staff. It just disgusts me. Like, these big corporations, sorry to sound like a sort of person with blue hair, but like these big companies like Wetherspoons, McDonald's, Green King, which is who I work for, like, they just treat their staff like utter shit, and it's a real shame. I think, yeah, one bit of advice I'd give is, like, if you're gonna work kind of job I'm working, I'd really advise you to work somewhere independently, like some independent pub or something like that, or some small pub where you kind of know everyone who works there, because you just get treated better. And, you know, I'm not anti-capitalist or anything. I think there's a lot to capitalism, but these kind of places, they just rinse you for all you got, and it's very cruel. Show you guys the rest of what I'm cooking here. So here we go, some lentils. This isn't really a good meal. Like, this isn't a very traditional Indian meal. Like, I'm sure if I gave this to some Indian guy, he'd be like, what the fuck is this? But that's not the point here. I'm not making something that's meant to be like super traditional or even taste very nice. It's just a very cheap way to get a lot of calories. You know, obviously, it's probably not lost on you guys. There's no meat here. There's no eggs. There's no you know, I could have had chicken with this. This is meant to be for chicken, right? But I just thought, you know, I'm not a vegetarian or anything like that. I think eating meat is really healthy and whatever. But I just thought, at the moment I'm in kind of budgeting mode, and if I can just not eat meat, it's just so much cheaper. Like, this is literally 60p for the entire bag, and, you know, you just got your source of protein there. It's not a great source of protein, obviously. You know, lentils, like plant protein, I don't really know the science behind it, but plant protein isn't quite as good as normal protein. But it's still going to do the job. It's not going to kill me to have that. You know, people eat this stuff their whole lives and they don't die from it. So, yeah. I'll put this back. I'll just show you guys into my larder as well. So here we go. This is what I've got. Very minimalist. I'm just trying to eat up everything before I buy new stuff. So obviously I've got that rice there. I've got another pack of red lentils. I will finish those and then I'll go out and have something else. Got some coffee. I've got a big tub of peanut butter. Again, just lots of calories for very cheap. Eggs. I do eat eggs in the morning just because that's one very high ROI thing, and eggs are still quite cheap compared to other animal proteins. Yeah, so there we go. This is coming along nicely. Rice is cooking. And yeah, this will fill me up for this shift I've got. And then that's just 15 quid that I would have earned, that I would have spent, that I would have spunked away on a, you know, some stupid meal at this stupid place that I work at. I can now spend on like a coach ticket somewhere, or, you know, to Luton, which I'm going to film a video in soon, or to, I don't know, London or something like that. So yeah, and it just clocks up very fast, all this stuff. So yeah, let's see how this is going. I think this is pretty much cooked. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna chuck in some sauce with that. Yeah. Need to get a thing for it. There we go, and then I'm just going to chuck this in. There you go, and then I'll probably get a bit of water and just sloosh this around a bit more. Go. So yeah, there we go guys, that's a very cheap meal. You can see it's pretty much done. Smells very nice, you know. Would I personally like to eat this every day of my life? No. But is it going to give me enough calories to get through that shift? Yes. And I mean, I told you guys the prices. It's got to cost less than £2 for this meal. So yeah, it's pretty cheap, and the rice coming along nicely there as well. So yeah, hope there's something you can take away from this, guys. Obviously, this isn't a cooking channel. I'm not gonna put more stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna expect you to like copy this exactly, but maybe there's just something you can take away from this in my psychology and whatever else. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.